Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video, or welcome for the first time to one of my videos where I typically go through action figures or other merchandise in my collection, usually related to video games or anime or things like that. But today I've got something different, something very interesting in my humble opinion. So this is actually I'm going to show you. I'm not going to say it just yet, but it's different. But the title might kind of give a hint to what it is, and if you can read Japanese or the very small English that's on there, and you know your stuff, then you'll know what it is already. But as I go through the packaging, things will probably reveal itself anyway. But this was very different from what I normally pick up, so let's get right to it. So first up, this is a Revogeo figure. It's from Kaiyodo, who do the Revogeo stuff, of course, with say Ninja Turtles, the Marvel superheroes that I've covered, such as Spider-Man and Captain America, and a lot of anime products as well. So they aren't new to me, but this type of figure is totally new to me. So on the packaging side of things, this is very different to what I've normally experienced. Normally it's a shorter package, squarer package. This is more of a vertical looking one. So this is, again, interesting from a packaging point of view. And it's got Revogeo as the tag, or Revogeo, how you want to call it on the tag. A new sort of icon there. I mean, again, some of you people might already be familiar with this, but for those that aren't, just like I wasn't, this is all new. So you've got the planet, I suppose, here, or the moon, or something, very, geographic type of National Geo sort of, detail or graphic theme that's going on. And then here is kind of telling you what it is. So it's in Japanese, but at the very bottom you can see what it is, and it says Vespa Mandarinia. So I might have got the pronunciation wrong, so forgive me for that. If you don't know what that is, let's carry on anyway. This is a clasp looking box. It's just in orange. And then there we go. This is what the product is. It's a bee. Or more correctly, it's an Asian hornet. Now apparently this is based on the world's largest hornet, which is native to places like Japan and other places of like Southeast Asia as well. So I'll give you a bit more of a blurb with some on-screen text, because hands to heart, I'm not very knowledgeable about bugs, but this just looked very cool in the product promo pictures that I saw a while back, and I thought, you know what, let me check this out. So here you can see promo pictures or product shots of what this product is. It kind of hones in on the stinger. That's quite important for this. Of course, it should be. It seems to come with base, the wing attachments. So all very new to me in terms of what I normally get. So this is very, very cool. So an Asian giant hornet. Revogeo is this figure line. Now this isn't the first time they've done animals or bugs or things like that. They have done, I believe, a scorpion of some kind, and I think it was a crab. But this is the one that stood out to me. So yeah, going through the packaging again, you can see it's a clasp design here, and then on the spine it says Revogeo, produced by Shinobu Matsumura, and that's his Japanese name in kanji, and then some more text as well. So very cool that they got that. And yeah, the packaging itself is cool, so you can just have it kind of like as a book on your bookshelf. So let's get this open. It's just got this here. Now I'm not sure if this is unique to this packaging, i.e. this being like the stinger of the Asian hornet. If it is, that's pretty cool to have that little detail included. If not, still cool either way. So let's open this up. So in the front, you've got a whole bunch of text. Now, the majority is in Japanese, and my Japanese is awful, and I cannot read the kanji, so I'm not going to go through that. But there is a little English blurb here. The translation is not great, so I'll leave that there. Pause it for a second if you want to read it. Let's just bring it forward. Pause it right here if you would like to read it, but otherwise I'm going to continue. So more Japanese text. Basically, it just tells you a bit more about the species itself, what they've done in the past. So this is the crab and the scorpion I mentioned, and a little bit about the producer of this figure as well. Then here we have a nice little kind of sheet here with the producer's signature. That's cool. When you open that up, you have a little bit of plastic to cover the figure, and then you've got the figure on display. So this is actually very nice, because it means you can have this on display, like, say if we're in a museum or a lab or something, and the paper is slipped, it's very cool to have it just on display if that's what you want to do. But let's get this thing open. So once you get it all removed and unwire the actual bug from its piece of card and unwrap all of this stuff, this is what you get. You also do get a little instruction sheet that just kind of explains the parts that you get, all in Japanese, and then how to get the stinger out and place it on its stand. So I've read through that, so I'm going to show you this properly now. So this is again what you get with. So you get the flight wings that you need to swap from the stationary wings that are already attached, the stand, and then some extra joints. Now, before I get into everything, just to kind of say, I don't know anything about bugs. I don't know anything about the Asian Hornet. It's not really my expertise, but it looked very cool, so I decided to pick this up and check it out. Now, on first impression, this looks very, very cool. Looks very impressive. I actually don't know the size of a real Hornet, so I'm going to put that up on screen, just to get an average size, just so we know what the average size of that is. But this looks very cool, very impressive bug, very impressive Asian Hornet, I have to say. But let's kind of go through some of the parts first, and then we'll get into that. So you do get a stand with this, and this comes with a long shaft. So if you wanted to position the Hornet higher up in flight mode, for example, or stinging, then yeah, you could use this, or you can use one which is short like so. So I've already got it positioned like that, which isn't the easiest position, surprisingly, but I'll get into that in more detail. And then all you got to do is plug this into the base like this. Oh, one way is wrong way around, but like that. And then this inserts into the belly or underside of the Hornet, and then you just place it down. So luckily for me, I was able to position it for now stably like that. You get extra joints. Now these are actually support joints. These are not articulated, so I'm going to leave these in the bag. The ones that are already attached are articulated joints, and that's what makes it a little bit tricky for it to stand up, because the joint can sometimes, it's not the most sturdy or stiffest joint, so it splits and then his legs kind of give out. So these are, I guess, are given to add stability. So if you just want it in that pose, use those joints in this little packet. So they are in different shapes, by the way. So these front two legs on both sides are going to be right angle joints, and then the very back legs are going to be a slightly wider one. So hopefully you can see those there. The right angle one, and then this one where my thumb is slightly more angled outwards, bigger angle. Then of course you get the flight wings that I mentioned. The wings honestly look really, really cool on this guy. So yeah, these are very, very nice, like golden yellow color with the black vein details on them. Translucent as well. So you can see my fingers behind them. Very, very nice looking wings. Again, I'm not an expert in this field, so I don't know how accurate in terms of detailing and markings these are. I'm sure there's quite a lot of attention to detail on these anyway. So yeah, I appreciate all of that effort that's gone into them. They're really, 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 really nice looking wings. But let's get onto the actual meat and bones, and there his legs gave out. So his legs did give out, but that's okay. We're going to go through the figure anyway. So as I mentioned, the figure is very, very impressive to look at. The colors on this look really, really great. The sculpt is great, and I wish I was an expert on Asian Hornets to kind of give an accurate kind of opinion on it. But just as an opinion anyway, it looks really, really cool. I really, really like how striking this looks. Everyone, or majority of people I know, would be scared crapless if this came coming at them. It doesn't really matter how big or small it is, they would be very, very scared. So to get that intimidating look, and that kind of sleekness to it as well, is very, 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 very cool. I think this liner figure is all about getting that attention to detail. We have so much attention to detail to humanoid figures for superheroes and such, so why not creatures of the world itself? So this is really, really cool to look at right now. So if you are a geologist or things like that, or just a really, really big enthusiast on particular bugs and insects, then yeah, I can see straight away why this would be appealing. But yeah, like I said, the colors look great. The wings again look great on these ones. So these are just the stationary wings, so you can see they're thinner versus the ones, the flight ones, which spread out. The legs look great too. The color and the detail on them is nice. They've got a nice shiny bug-like finish to them. What's the word for that? Shellac sort of finish, I would say, on them, which is nice. Actually, when you handle these, it can almost feel a little bit it kind of send goosebumps, give you goosebumps a little bit. Your tolerance level might be different, might be higher or lower than mine, but I was getting a little bit of that feeling of, oh, this is a little bit creepy. Not full on goosebumps, but a little bit of that. Yeah, I can imagine actually holding onto this kind of bug. So yeah, it's great. You got the antennae, the feelers, like so. They do articulate. I'm gonna go into articulation in more detail later, but let's just keep admiring the impressive look of this thing, because I don't think, you know, we spend too much time glossing over how good something actually is, and not enough time actually really just appreciating it. But let's do that. So again, the eyes, they look really cool as well. It's got little black dots inside that you can see, and then the mouth, they do open. I'm going to go into that into a little bit of detail, and there's, you know, you can kind of see on the underside some detailing right there as well in the mouth, and then going down the legs joints. Okay, so maybe this is where I can give an opinion with. If it was having babies or something, then this might look realistic, maybe. But yeah, it's on the underside, so you're not really going to see this on, you know, once it's on display. So yeah, the joints do kind of look a bit ugly, which can be a thing for a lot of Revogeo normal figures. So, you know, again, you're not really going to see it from that side, so I don't really want to dock it too much for that. But the base abdomen is what it's called, and then going down to the stinger bit is very, very cool. That articulates too, looks great, looks great. Oh, and sorry, the detail here of the red in the midsection is nice too. So yeah, you know, we spent a long time just talking about how it looks, and I think it deserves it. It looks really, really impressive. I'm really impressed with the way this looks. But let's just actually go through the articulation now. I'm gonna try to do this from head to stinger. So yeah, bear with me because I might miss something. Hopefully not. So I mentioned the antennae. They do move like so. Same for the other one as well. The jaw or the pincers, they do open. Now, Revogeo joint being as it is, they can sometimes come off. But let's just open that bit and give you a little bit of a detail on the inside of the mouth, which honestly, that is pretty creepy, and that's creepy in a good way of that's probably how it looks in real life. So yeah, imagine these little bits moving and just kind of like feeding off you. Yeah, it would just be like, yeah, creepy, right? Hopefully that didn't creep you guys out. Oh, there we go, and there's the loose joint I mentioned. Let's try and put that back on right now. So it might end up being a little bit fiddly, but there we go. Actually, we've got it. That feels quite loose to me. It went on too easily. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Articulation for the head, up and down, and it rotates like so. Ooh. So that's really cool. I'm not sure again how accurate a lot of this articulation is or isn't. So yeah, leave a comment down below for that for sure. But it's pretty good for what it can do. And then we've got the midsection that I mentioned here. So this is just one big unit on its own. And then you can see there, and that actually allows it to bend all the way like so, as if it was dead. So that's pretty cool. And then that moves like so. Or, you know, if it's going to sting something, then yeah, it can move. That's very, very cool. Then you got this section here, which is doesn't move here, but it's sculpted on. And then here is when it begins to articulate again. So you've got a little bit of twist and a little bit of flex there, you can see. And then further down here into this segment right here, like so, similar sort of articulation. And then right to the end towards the stinger. So this bit is actually a magnet. So let's try and show you that this way around. So you can see the magnet is here, there. You can see the joint inside right there. So you pull that out like so. So again, that allows him to do the stinger bit. If you reset this back and then stinger. To get the stinger out, this is actually something I think could have been better if they did it as an automatic stinger, by allowing it to, you know, depending on how far you went or something, like a trigger and then the stinger comes out. But I guess they wanted to do more of an accurate representation of the build of it rather than actual toy-like functionality, I suppose. But to activate the stinger or reach the stinger, you pull out the bottom section, and then you lift this bit up here, and that opens to reveal the stinger section, and then you just have to pull that out like so. So the stinger is here, you can see, slightly curved, and I assume that's based on how a real stinger would be. And then you just close it back up and reset the magnet, and there you go. So you got the stinger and activated, you could say. So just give you a better look at that in different angles. So that's the stinger, and if you want to put the stinger back, just reverse the process, push it back in, try to be a bit gentle with it because it is a thin plastic, so you don't want to ruin it. And then the magnet just kind of holds it back. And then reset the abdomen and the whole body shape, and that's it. So that's the articulation of the main body. The wings move up and down, and then up, like so, up and down, or left and right, however you want to call it. It rotates. They're on a pretty standard sort of ball joint of Revogeo that you might be familiar with their usual action figures. The legs then, so these are all the same joint, but because they are articulated joints, they move up and down, and they do twist for each leg. Now they are a little bit loose, and that's what kind of makes it a little bit tricky for it to stand, because the legs do give. Obviously I haven't got the back legs in place, but just to kind of show you again. So the instruction sheet tells you to swap these front two legs on both sides for right angle legs, and then a wider angle for the back legs, and then you should be able to just sit it down. Or if you're lucky like I was early on, you can still have it standing with these regular joints. They've got the articulation at the underside as well. That I mentioned was the ugly side. So each leg is able to do that as well and rotate a little bit like so. And yeah, you got the for the joint that I mentioned that allows it to bend all the way. So I believe that covers all its articulation. So again, a very impressive articulation for, you know, a figure in its own right. Whether it's accurate again to the actual Asian Hornet, I'll leave that to you guys to comment and discuss below. It looks accurate to me. I guess going by it logically, it seems accurate. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that. They are Revogeo joints, so if they get loose over time, you know, the jaw did, then I won't be surprised. That's just a thing with them. It's like I said in one of my other videos, it's basically a feature with these guys for their joints to loosen up and sockets to loosen up over time. Now I do want to swap the wings out because that was a pretty cool swappable. So we will reset the wings for this one like so. So the instructions say you have to pull them out this way, and then if you want to pull them back, reset the joint, the peg, and then grab the wing that you want to use, and then just place that. So here you can see, and then place that in. Oops, just reset. Might have to play around with it a little bit, or use a heat gun, not a heat gun, but just a hairdryer or something. Just warm it up a bit in your hands to get that in. And there you go, the wing is in. Let's do the same with the other side. Pull it out, grab the other wing, put it back and sticking out, and then this one goes in a lot easier. And there we go, the wings are on, and now the Asian Hornet flies away somewhere. No, it's back. It's back. So yeah, the wings look very cool. So as we saw earlier on, you have the option to leave this on display within the box, or play around with it right now, observe it, do what you need to do with it, you know, inform yourself about Asian Hornets and their body structure, should you need to, for whatever kind of project that you're working, or just because you're curious. And then you can put it back, which is just basically a wire that wraps around, and yeah, reset it and replace it back into the packaging and have it like a museum piece where it's just on display. So overall, yeah, this is quite cool. It's a very different sort of product that I would normally purchase. I mean, if you guys seen most of my videos, it's more about anime kind of product, video game product, and things like that. So having an Asian Hornet, you know, about real life sort of bugs and insects and things like that is very different. But you know, you can see why I was appealed to this. It's a very striking looking figure. It's just a striking looking creature. I know people are afraid of it. I would be very scared of it if someone like this came into my face. So yeah, it's a different thing, and I'm glad I picked it up. I'm going to keep this one for a good while at least. I have no intention of, say, selling it for now, because it's unique enough that, yeah, I enjoy it. So I'm going to keep it for, well, let's see how long I keep it for. I would actually be very interested if they carry this line on. Now, I haven't tried the crab or the scorpion. I haven't experimented with those figures. I guess as creatures, they don't really appeal to me so much. I would like to see some other creatures. I don't know what exactly right now. You know, whether they stick to bugs or move on to mammals and things like that. or other like lizards, or God knows what else that's up their sleeves or what their interests are. I don't know. I mean, I am a more mammal person for sure, but if they did another cool looking bug, a spider, or some sort of arachnid or something, I'd certainly be curious and potentially interested in picking that up as well. So yeah, I'm very curious where they go with this, or from here on where they go with this, because this is a very unique figure, and I'm curious to know what you guys think as well. Because again, I'm all about action figures and about superheroes and gaming, characters. So what do you guys think of this? Would this ordinarily be something you would pick up? Would you be interested in seeing more from the Revogeo line? Or is this just a complete deal breaker, and even having a mock-up or a fake toy of a hornet or a wasp or a bee or something that stings you and irritates you is a complete deal breaker for you? Let me know what you think. Sound off below, because I'm very, very curious what you guys think. Yeah, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, because it's very different. It was just very, 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 very spur of the moment type of thing for me. So yeah, I thought I'd do something different today. I'm going to go back to my regular schedule, action figures and things like that. So thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it again, and I hope you're safe wherever you are and whatever it is that you're doing. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.